So I literally cried for a month straight. Like I had a friend come from upstate New York and she came and literally helped me go through boxes that I had had as I lived in Alaska. So like literally 23 years like of emotional ties and junk that I had to get rid of.
Yeah.
So it was like all these things that we put so much meaning on that are actually meaningless. They were in a box for 23 years.
Welcome back to Her Horizon podcast. And my name is Liz. This is Paula. And today we wanted to talk a little bit about how we got here. So here currently is in Saranda, Albania, by the beautiful Ionian Sea. That's where we met, in the sea, like mermaids.
Literally.
And about how, and we I think we've touched on this a little bit, but what we both sold everything and left the States and kind of set off on our own thing, followed a dream that we had both had for probably years. And I wanted to start with you and what kind of led up to you doing that, and weave in like how, financial decisions that you made, mindset things that you had to do to get here.
Yeah, wow. So not an easy process. Like worth it completely, but not like super easy. So for me, my mom was having a lot of medical issues, and I was caretaking for 8 years, I think. She passed, and I felt like it was like just the perfect time. I used to always say, because I love traveling, and what I mainly want to do is give my child opportunity to experience different cultures. He had had some issues in the school system, like AKA bullying, and like there's so much there. I actually started homeschooling during COVID. That was a very difficult choice for me too, because that was scary. Like as a single mom who works, like homeschooling isn't an easy option. It's actually harder, but it's one of those things that you couldn't just not do.
Right.
I got to the point where it's like I had to do this. Like, and that's the thing, like for me, I feel like when I know something deeply, I can't not do it. Like I've gotten to the point where it's like if I like my intuition, like I have to follow it. And a lot of times I don't have the reasoning when I'm following it, but I have the reasoning, a few months or a year later. It's like, oh, that's exactly why I did that. So when she passed and my older kids didn't have children, I was like, okay, this is time to go show JD, my son, the world and experience that with him. Because I also realized like time is short. Like time is precious. And my biggest thing is experiences. Like I love sharing experiences with people. Like that's my favorite. So I literally cried for a month straight. Like I had a friend come from upstate New York and she came and literally helped me go through boxes that I had had as I lived in Alaska. So like literally 23 years like of emotional ties and junk that I had to get rid of.
Yeah.
So it was like all these things that we put so much meaning on that are actually meaningless. They were in a box for 23 years, just and sitting in my attic,
Right.
like so. But I literally like lots of letting go, like lots of emotional processes. We literally danced as I like decided what to keep, and I only kept what I absolutely loved. So it was like I'm only keeping what I absolutely love. Sold my house. First person who looked at it and was like, your house feels so good. She was also a single mom, which was cool. I don't love the word single mom. She was also a matriarch of her family. And it was so cool. Like that whole process, it was like boom, boom, boom. Like, so for me, like synchronized events means that I'm on the exact path that I'm supposed to be on. And the stuff that has opened up has been amazing. So there's always the shutting and then the, oh crap, what am I doing? And then the opening.
Yes.
So that's Yeah. Yeah.
So, what do you think women who are on the precipice, or maybe they've gone through a big transition and they're kind of standing like, is this my life right now? I have all
Mhm.
of these things that I want to do. What advice would you give to them?
I'm just like thinking of the meme. It's like, don't, if you hang around me too long, you'll believe in like your power. I
Yeah.
forget exactly what it means, but honestly, like sometimes you just gotta rip off a band-aid and like trust yourself, trust your knowing, because our brain can play so much many tricks on us, right? Like, I'm going to fail. I don't believe that there is any such thing as failing in my world. I don't believe in that word. I think we learn and we
Yeah.
adjust. The all like the scary things, like just rip off the band-aid, do it,
Yeah.
and yeah.
Yeah.
It's, yeah.
It's
How about for you? Like, what is your
well, I'm the oldest daughter, and so I was always raised to be like hyper responsible for everybody else. And I was, I had this is your path, and this is, you're gonna go to college and you're gonna do the thing and you're gonna get a good job and you're gonna do all the things. Well, my parents got divorced when I was 12 years old, and I was like, fuck that, I'm not doing any of that. So I've always been a very strong-willed, I'm going to do what I want to do. And I ended up going, I had got into some trouble when I was younger, like quite a bit of trouble actually. And I ended up going to Boys Town, which is a like a boarding school in Nebraska. And then graduated from there. So I was gone from my family for a long time. So this departure now doesn't feel as foreign to me because I kind of always had the an amount of space between myself and my family. And so but when I came back, I'm from Michigan originally. When I came back after I graduated from high school, was going to go to nursing school, and then I realized about 6 weeks in that that I couldn't deal with the blood and any of that at all. I'm like, why didn't I choose this? But again, there's no such thing as failure. It's just learning what I didn't like. And so I dropped out of nursing school. My parents were just beside themselves, disappointed in me. And they both basically said, like, you can't come back to our house till you're gonna have to find your way, kind of thing. And so I did, and I ended up going and getting my degrees. I love to learn. I love education. I've just always been a very like school lights me up, and so I'm good at it. And so I went back and on my own terms though, and got my business degree. But it was still like these are what you're supposed to do, and this is what everybody expects you to do, and living even my major, it wasn't like what I would have chosen. I probably would have been a music major or, like vocal music or some kind of art or something. But then I had this voice in my head, like, there's no money in that. And all of these, things that we are programmed with to tell ourselves. And so I was in corporate banking for 20 years. And then I left that job when I was pregnant with my youngest daughter. And I just decided I was done with corporate. I didn't want to do the 9 to 5 anymore. I am not built for it. I was running myself ragged. I was working all the time. I wasn't able to spend time with my girls. And then, so round that was in 2019. So then 2020, obviously, COVID, and I really started getting into personal development. And then we had kind of a tragedy happen in our family that caused me to have to step in again as the oldest daughter, matriarch-ish person, and had to step in and help my aunt and uncle with their granddaughters that they got custody of in an unexpected way. And so I was kind of raising 4 kids there for a while. And then my aunt started to slip cognitively in about like 2023. We started noticing that she was kind of slipping a little bit. And in 2024, she got diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and I was there for her. I cared for her. I was sometimes, she would call me 40 times a day, and I would, as much as I could answer and be there. There was a summer that I was over there every single day, helping them, go through stuff in their house and taking her to doctor's appointments and just I did everything for her. I was her everything. Even, my uncle was there, but he was never really that role for her.
Right.
And so I stepped in to do that for her. And by, I'd say, the end of 2024, I was completely burnt out. I mean, it had been like 4 years of people just depending on me. Like, oh, Liz has got it. Liz will take care of it, you know. And I just couldn't do it anymore. I was spreading myself so thin. I had my own 2 girls that I was trying to raise. I had a business that I was trying to build with my husband, a real estate business, and I was a caregiver. And so it was just, I was being pulled in so many different directions that I just was burnt out. And I literally had to find the shred of me that was left. And I've always been into like visioning and goal setting, and I've always known that I wanted to travel, and I wanted to travel with my kids. I mean, it was before I even had kids. I was like, this is what I want to do. I want to world school my children. I want to, like you said, to teach them about different cultures. And I've always loved to travel. And so I just made the decision. I said, we're gonna leave for, we're gonna do this thing for at least a couple of years. And so we, bought another rental property, got some more passive income streams going, and we left and sold everything. Like I said, and we had lived in our house for 13 years. And yeah, you don't realize how little stuff you actually care about. And you think you're going to be nostalgic, or that you're going to, and I'm sure that some people do have a hard time more than others just based on their own, inner workings. But it was difficult, but yet freeing. Like, it was so, to not have all of that stuff like weighing you down, and not having to really worry about, like, I mean, Isaac, my husband, would say, like, I was willing to like die for that shit.
Right.
Like, and
I
now
know, seems like a thought.
yes,
I don't
now
think
it's
about
such
it.
a foreign concept. Like, I was willing to, like, put my life on the line for stuff in my house. But it, and of course, when we made the decision, we didn't tell a lot of people until about high 2 months before we left. And we kind of were winding down with some things with our business, and putting systems in place to have it still kind of really run while we were gone. Had a team in place. And so we didn't say a lot to a lot of people, but when we started telling people, we heard it all. Like, oh, what are you doing? It's not safe. What are you doing? How are your daughters going to be educated? How are you going to make this life work? How are you going to afford it? How are you, all of the things that people in our lives, and it's done out of, I want to say, out of love, and rooted also in their own fear, and projecting that fear onto us. But like you said, I'm the type of person too that if I say I'm going to do something, it's going to happen. And there's really not much that can stop me, good or bad. Like, if I told my parents when I was younger, if I say I'm going to run away, I'm out of here. I'm not, I don't just say stuff. I will back it up with action. And, that's just something that a way I've always been. And I think it's really giving yourself that permission to do it, because there's always going to be reasons why you can't. There's always going to be people. There's always going to be obligations. There's always not going to be the perfect right time. There's always going to be obstacles in your way of pursuing what you want to, living a life of freedom and, what you want to do. But you have to be able to navigate through that.
Yeah, like cutting through the noise, right? There's so much noise. Like, there's
Yeah.
always gonna be naysayers, and it's like, and the thing is like, they don't get to dictate our life.
Yeah.
Like and I think like having people who like care about you and like are happy for your successes and happy for you, those are the people that I'll listen to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like but I still like will take their advice, but this is like we get this lifetime.
Yeah.
You know, we get this lifetime, and having a father who passed away young, and his like whole thing was like, I'm going to buy an RB and I want to do the RB lifestyle like when I retire. And then he bought an RB, they did one thing and he passed away 6 weeks later. Like it's, you know, there's and so many people, it's like the boiling frog concept. Like like so many people want to hold other people into their own what their normal is.
Yes.
And it's having the guts to break free of all of that. And I've never once regretted it. Like never it's been a vast experience. Like every single thing in my life that I've said, this is gonna like want to do this, it has always been a good experience.
Yeah.
Like always been a profound experience.
Well, I think whenever you follow your soul calling and, the universe, God, spirit rewards you for that, because that's literally what we're here to do. Like it's, if you look at life as a game, I mean, we're here to play it till the wheels fall off, to live the best experiences. If we are all, in an image of the divine, th- that divinity wants to experience everything that this world has to offer, and whatever that may be for you. And so when we talk about it in the terms of wealth, it's, what does wealth mean to you? Because people think of wealth, I think, and they think of, oh, it has to be like so many dollar signs or so many zeros in my bank account. But it's really, what kind of lifestyle do I want to live, and how much do I need to make that happen? And that's not it's that's womanly wealth, I believe, is how do I want my days to go? How do I want to design my life so that I feel fulfilled, so that I feel, poured into, cherished, uh, and that I'm truly living. Yeah.
Yeah, like one of my favorite questions are like, what brings you joy and how do you feel wealthy within? Because like financial planning for a long time, like I've seen people with lots of money that have so much fear of living life at all.
Yeah.
Like, and then I've seen people, and this has been me, the time frames where it's like, I don't, one of my friends asked me, she's like, how do you do what you do? And I said, blind faith.
Yeah.
A lot of it.
A lot of jumping off the cliff and hoping the net will appear.
And there's just pure trust. Like, there is something in me that knows that I'm going to be supported some way, shape, or form. And I make things happen too. It's not like there's this equal balance of like being in the actions of like making what I want to happen, and also being in this pure trust and faith. And like if I follow this knowing, it's going to like blossom, right? Like it's not going to wither up, it's going to blossom. So that's been really cool too, like the testing that out. And then it was like smaller tests in the beginning, and then like no, it's just like this is truly like I enjoy my life completely. And I'm so thankful to say that, because there's so many years that I did not. 10 years ago, oh my gosh, like.
But even those 10 years ago, if you think, you still had that little like knowing in the back of your head, like this isn't the way, this isn't, like, women's intuition is so strong. And so many women, I think, they know what they really need to do, but they let that fear, the needing to please, all of that get in the way of actually living how they want to live.
Yeah, magnetism comes from being in alignment to me. Like,
Yes.
I enjoy like my well-being is purely like that's magnetic.
Yeah.
Versus like the martyrdom, like the I loathe my life. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't like life at all, but somehow that equates to being a good human.
Right.
Doesn't make any sense to me. Like, like, but that's okay. Like so the steps of taking is really like learning how to trust ourselves, like to be in the action of taking those steps.
Yeah. And I think it's good. You have to start small, you just making little decisions in line with your intuition and see how it opens up for you. I know that I was supposed to go on this mission because it's been a soul calling of mine for a long time. And it's like every step that I've taken toward it and even through it, it has opened up these amazing opportunities, and it's always worked out.
Yes.
So
I saw this thing the other day, and it's like, oh, you're so lucky. Like when like the reels, right? Like the sea is over here. That's why I keep looking over here. And then it's like the actions that took this, and it's like volcanoes erupting, a hurricane.
yeah, it's not a lot. Some block, I suppose, but it's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah, you have to make hard decisions sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, and those hard decisions like are what rewards you.
Yep.
But they're not hard, and then they become not hard. I'm thinking like past 10 years ago, every decision was like, oh my gosh, like so my palms would get sweaty, or I was so afraid of what people would think, or you know what I mean. Nowadays, it's like I don't have any of those cares at all.
It's
like
so free.
Yes.
You know, it's
a sovereignty.
yeah, it comes in so many different forms. Yes, we're free to live this life and travel and do all these things, but we also have developed, and it's, you know, still something I think we both probably continue to work on, developed a freedom from other people's opinions, which is like, it's such a huge, you know, freedom to have, in that, you know, I have a strength of self and a knowing of my own worthiness, that I know that what I do and what I trust in myself is the right, correct thing for me.
And that's wealthy too.
Yeah.
Like that, like, so the term wealth, like not all about money. Like
No.
that is like my emotional health, like my peace, internal peace. That's wealth to me.
Yeah.
Like just that self-trust, that sovereignty guidance. Like, yeah.
And it takes time and it takes work. And, you know, it's a lot about our nervous systems and what your nervous system is. You have to be able to expand that in order to become more magnetic, in order to, because if you think about your nervous system, it's like your electromagnetic field in your body. It fires off signals, and so that is how if we're electromagnetic beings, that's how we attract. That nervous system component is so important.
One of my biggest aha moments for that. So I did 5 years of EMDR, so Libra Relays Toxic Relationship. And I was doing yoga every day, taught yoga for a while, but every day. And there's this pose called pigeon pose, and it's quite an intense hip opener, which our hips soar a lot out of the ocean. And it took me a year to like go from like, I couldn't even go from my wrists down to my elbows. Like it took me a year. And now I can like put my head on the floor. But one session of EMDR, like I got to go back into childhood trauma, and like really, this was after a few years of EMDR, so I was like quite familiar with the process, and like really shift the childhood trauma that had happened. And then the next day I could go all the way down to my forehead. So it was like, yes, it was like this big like aha moment,
Right.
of like how much our bodies hold on to.
Yeah.
And how free we can become. So when I say like internal peace, that's what I'm talking about. It's like that childhood trauma dictated so much of my life.
Yes.
Being able to fly. Like I had the biggest fear of flying. I used to drive from Kentucky to California, or California, Kentucky. It's 3-day driving. And now I fly all over the world. But it was like my own internal fear of flying, like my like untethered freedom.
Control, or being
Or like not being able to control environment was one. But on the flip side of that, it was me being afraid of my own flight, my own success, my own freedom. So like even like EMDR works through that part too. Like is like nervous system is like huge.
It is. It's
Huge work. It's amazing.
It's something, and it's like practice, right? So it's something you're consistently doing, because, you know, I don't know. I've never met a woman that doesn't have some trauma from something in her life. And, you know, even if it's just the weight of other people's expectations, or the weight of not of being told that she needs to be small and quiet, and, you know, not living her full, exuberant, authentic self. And, you know, so you have to constantly practice that releasing of that. And that's some things that we're going to get into, you know, on Her Horizon. I think we have a lot of plans for that, because although it's a wealth, channel, it's more about choice, it's more about freedom, it's more about living the life that you desire and not one that somebody else has imposed on you, not one that you feel obligated, not one that you feel guilted into. It's your one shot. And I think as women, we tend to be the ones that are in that we build everybody else's dreams, right? And not our own. And so we're here to give you permission to build your own thing.
Do it. Yeah, right. And I love the ripple effects, right? So like when I learned when I was a very different person 13, 14 years ago. As we all, this is like bro viz. And as I raised kids, as I have gotten more in line with myself and more comfortable with myself, I've also given it permission for them to do that too.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing in me that wants to say, you have to be this way, or you have to play this sport to be loved, or you have to get all A's. Like, nope. It is what brings you joy.
Yep.
How do you feel about the inside? For one, that was like fishing. For one, it's like knife making. For one, scuba diving. Like, we are all such unique individuals, and being able to like holding that space to bring that out in people is so important. And then that is like, it creates such good ripples for everything. Like everything.
What a great time to be alive, that we can be the type of mothers that are fostering this individual, self-expression when our parents didn't necessarily have that, because the societal expectations and restrictions were so ingrained that in a kind of conformist way. And now we're moving away from that. And obviously it's coming out in lots of different types of ways where people want to be able to express how, they are on the inside. And so that's, I think it's such an interesting, and of course there'll be people who don't get it, and a lot of the older they're still kind of stuck in that old kind of system, old world, and that's okay. But we're here to just show that there is a different way. You can live a different life. You can live the life of your dreams, no matter if women, I think they try to keep themselves small so they don't get disappointed. We'll talk about that too in another podcast. But so that's kind of our background, our story about how we got here to this point at this beautiful location. And so
Stay magnetic.
yes, stay in your authenticity. It is the
as
best.
big as you want.
Yes, take up space.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today on Her Horizon, and we will see you next time. Ciao.